Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about the period after postpartum depression and before I got diagnosed with lupus nephritis. Spoiler alert, I got diagnosed with lupus nephritis. So during this time I was still a stay-at-home mom. My baby was about 5 or 6 months old at the time. I had just gone through really terrible postpartum depression. If you want to look back in my videos, it is there. I had just gotten done trying out azathioprine. That medication, you have to take your blood all the gosh darn time. It was terrible. I had to get my blood drawn once a week. After my labs were stable for 2 months, I think it was, she let me go to twice a month. I felt like I lived at the hospital. I knew all the check-in staff and the phlebotomist by name. And it really didn't help with my joints. So the doctor looked at everything and she said the next step was to move to Benlysta. Benlysta is an auto-injection, and so I moved on to that. I'll do a whole other video on Benlysta and the miracle drug that it was for me. But at the time, all I saw was the scary side effects and something you have to inject yourself with. In the end, it was probably the most significant life-changing drug that I've ever been on. However, of course, at the time, all I see are side effects of cancer, death, suicidal thoughts, all those things that when you start messing around with bone marrow, it tends to make your body a little angry. So one of my dear friends came over to see Leo for the first time, and I remember we were sitting on the swing out back and I was telling her about this new scary drug that I might be taking. And I was like, it could drastically shorten my life, but I'm just thinking about the quality of life that I have now, whether or not it would be worth it. And so she asked me what exactly I was experiencing. So I started listing off all the things that I was experiencing as far as lupus symptoms and the severe joint pain, the depression, the brain fog, just all this stuff. And she just said very matter-of-factly, oh, so no quality of life. It was just the ticket for me because it was something that I already knew deep down and something I had definitely been wrestling with. But it was like, would I rather live 50 years with this quality of life, or would I rather live 25 with a much better quality of life? So I decided to go ahead and take the drug. At the same time, I was able to start physical therapy. Physical therapy was absolutely amazing for me. There were certain things that I was definitely getting better with, but I kept having severe pain that was not necessarily due to the inflammation, but more because I kept pulling things because none of my muscles were still strong. Anytime I would try to go up the stairs, I noticed that my left leg just wouldn't work. It wouldn't lift in that direction. There were a couple other things I noticed. I had a hunched back from being bedridden and then being a mom. I had neck pain almost constantly. There were just a lot of things that I wanted to see what physical therapy could do. My physical therapist's name was Jill. I will never forget her. She was definitely an angel to me. I remember sitting down with her the first time and she asked me a bunch of questions about what I was experiencing and what I was able to do at home. One of the questions that she asked me was if I ever played sports in high school. Now, I was on the varsity volleyball and basketball team in high school. I wasn't very good, but I was very active and I was tall and I would give it up my all every time. When I told her yes, I internally braced myself for the, oh, I'm so sorry. That's usually how it went for me. People would ask me a simple question like that and then see how far I was behind where I had started playing volleyball and basketball in high school to being bedridden and trying to get physical therapy so that I could go up and down stairs. And they would immediately greet me with sympathy, which for where I was felt more like pity than anything else. After I told her yes, I had played sports in high school, she said, oh good, that's really good. That means you're in touch with your muscles and you'll be able to know when you're working the right thing. Just that little mindset change totally summed up who she was and who she was to me. There were a lot of little old lady exercises that I would be doing over and over again, and I would be getting so sore from them. And they were just stupid things like flattening your foot and then bringing it back, and then flattening your foot and then bringing it back. Just all these little things that you see little old ladies doing in videos, and they were making me so sore that I couldn't walk. She absolutely never let on that it was a small thing that I was doing. She praised me and encouraged me and told me I was doing an amazing job.
Yay!
was able to go for 4 months, and I always say that Leo and I learned to walk at the same time. I remember close to the end of my time there, she said, I want to see if you can do a plank. Of course, my wrists were still pretty curled at the time, and so I told her, I don't think that's possible. And she said, no, on your elbows, just try it. So I pushed up, held it for maybe 1 second, and then collapsed. And you would have thought I had just ran a marathon for how she reacted. She was like, look at you go, look how strong you are. Like that. I feel like crying even thinking about it. For something so small, I was so proud of myself in that moment, and she was proud of me too. I had very small goals going into that. I wanted to be able to walk up and down the stairs. I wanted to be able to get up and down off of the floor. I wanted to be able to walk around with my kid and have him get tired before I did. I wanted to be able to do normal things with a toddler. However, leaving there, I had big goals, really big goals. I had seen how far I had come in just a few months under physical therapy. I wanted to get to the point where I could do a cartwheel again. I wanted to be able to do a handstand again and a headstand. I took gymnastics as a kid, that's why I keep saying again. She really boosted my confidence and boosted my belief that even small steps were huge steps. Being on the Benlysta, I had a lot of things get better. I was able to have more energy. Before Benlysta, I would hit a crash right about noon. However, after being on Benlysta, I was still able to walk around at 6 or 7 at night, which was unheard of for previous years. I was very encouraged and very hopeful for the things that were happening for me. The next video I'm going to do is about my diagnosis of lupus nephritis and how that went down, how I got better. It's really hard for me to even talk about because so many weird things happened to me during that time. So many people were definitely sent into my life that it's safe to say I don't know how I got better, but I did. And right after that, I went into remission, and I've been in remission ever since. Hopefully, I'll figure out how to talk about that before I actually have to do the video. And I'll let you guys in on one of the most gnarly and exciting times in my life. Well, that is all for today. Please like and subscribe. Also, if you hit the bell, it turns on alerts if you're interested in that. And don't forget, you can always reach out to me either in the comments or over on Instagram, and I will talk to you guys later. See ya.